No reboot. Guys, today I want to talk about the MCU because it's honestly starting to bother me how much people are talking about wanting to reboot the MCU. It is the worst fucking idea ever. It is terrible. It is awful. And let me tell you why. First of all, let's address the main problem. A lot of people think the problem is, oh, we don't have Iron Man anymore. We don't have Captain America anymore. We know we lost a lot of our actors. And that is true. We've lost some charismatic actors. But rebooting the MCU isn't going to do anything. We're never going to get a character or an actor as good as Robert Downey Jr. was as Iron Man. We're never going to get a Steve Rogers that was as good as Chris Evans. So essentially all you're going to do is you're going to run back the same stories and you're going to put the actors in an impossible position to succeed because they're not going to be able to put on the same performances. And so essentially you're just going to reboot. And not only are you going to reboot, we're going to erase the past story, but now the future stories are going to be bad too, because the actors won't be as good. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is we haven't even scratched the surface yet in terms of villains. We haven't touched Galactus. We haven't touched the Silver Surfer. There's so many villains that we haven't touched yet, both on a large scale. The Celestials, we barely touched in Eternals, but both on a smaller scale. We have barely gotten into Daredevil into the MCU. We've barely gotten into Namor in the MCU. We haven't even really gotten that much of an evil Scarlet Witch, only a little bit. So I think there's tons of more villains that we can see, and I don't think that it's necessary now to reboot with so many villains still left on the table. We still obviously haven't even gotten the X-Men, which bring about an entire set of arcs and stories just by themselves. That is going to bring an entire new energy and juice into the MCU, so I don't understand why you would reboot now when we're just getting the X-Men in Deadpool 3. Additionally, I don't see why you'd reboot when we're just starting the Fantastic Four, another entire new set of stories and characters. The X-Men and Fantastic Four honestly could combine into one team. We wouldn't even need the Avengers anymore. So I don't know why you would possibly reboot now, given these circumstances. They tie in directly to Galactus, to Silver Surfer, to Doctor Doom. Those three villains can give you at least a trilogy, if not more, if not even being a villain in the Avengers movies. So again, I don't see the reason for it. Overall, though, my biggest reason is that the problem with the MCU is the stories just have been subpar, and they have not been cool, and they have not been worthwhile at all. The problem isn't rebooting. If you reboot the MCU, all you're going to do is just have the same problems. Kevin Feige is still there. The creators are still there. Rebooting solves nothing. What does rebooting solve? Okay, we're going to make Iron Man 1 now in 2025. We're going to start all over again. Okay. The same directors that you would have hired for your other movies you're going to hire for this movie. It hasn't been long enough yet. So I say absolutely no to a reboot. We're not even close to a reboot. I think we're still 10 years away from a reboot of even thinking about it, which isn't that long in movie terms. Over the next 5 years, we'll probably get at least one more Avengers movie. So that's what I think about this, guys. Absolutely no reboot. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.